Hey guys, welcome back for our very first lecture where we'll actually be doing some work. Now in this lecture we'll be looking at the different ways to enter data. Now you may think this is somewhat of an unnecessary lecture. I mean, how hard could it be to put information in? However, I beg to differ. The reason being is that each method of inputting data has its advantages and disadvantages. They may seem slight at the moment, but over time you'll see that there is a massive difference. The people who recognize this go on to be experts on this program. The ones who don't are the ones that take 10 hours doing something that should only take 1 second. So, if you use the wrong method for the wrong situation, you could be spending 10 times longer than you need to, sometimes more. So it's very important that you know the differences, advantages, and disadvantages of each method. Okay, so the first way, we're going to go all the way up here to the first green area, right? These are the three examples we're going to be doing. This is the second one, and this is the third one. So there's going to be three methods, okay? So let's go to the very first one. I'm going to zoom in now. Let's move up a little bit. And now you guys can see it. Okay, so the first method, if we go to this cell, is if you click on a cell just once, okay, like so. I'm just going to show you guys. Okay, you've selected the cell. You can immediately start typing. Now the advantage of this method is no matter what is in the cell, you will automatically replace it. Okay, so let's put company 2 in there. Now as soon as I start typing, it's going to replace. See? There you go. So it's completely replaced. Let's finish it off. Now, if you've made a mistake, and let's say I wrote company with 5 Y's, and I don't want that, I can press escape, and it'll go back to what it originally was, like so. Okay, but we know it's supposed to be company 2, so you type in company 2, and when you're happy with that, you press enter, and that'll confirm and replace it. So that's the first method. Now the next method, if we go down here, right, this next method is used to change the data that's already in the cell. Now, how is this different from the first one? Well, the first one, you're replacing it. In this one, you could have a full word with just one slight error. You don't want to type the whole thing again. So you just want to go into the cell and modify that one little thing. So let's complete this word. It's supposed to be company 15. All right, so the way to do that is to double click in the cell. So let's do that now, double click. And as you can see now, it's blinking. The cursor is blinking. So I'll zoom in there for you. Now, all you want to do is start typing. Company space 15. Now, it's the same as before. If you press escape, it's going to cancel the change that you've made and go back to the original. If you're happy with this, you just press enter, like so, and it'll confirm it. Now there's a bit of a shortcut here, and that shortcut is pressing the F2 button. I'll chuck up that key on the keyboard on the screen. Basically, on the very top of your screen, you'll see a button called F2. If you press that button, you will automatically get into the cell like so. You will be put in at the very end where the last character is placed. So that's a very useful tip, so you don't need to go to your mouse. This is for you shortcut junkies out there. Now, another thing to mention about this is, depending on where your cursor is along that word, that's where the blinking line will be, meaning that's where it'll start typing. So if I go here between the C and the O, if I double click there, like so, that's where I'm going to be. If I go between the 1 and the 5, double click, I'm going to be there. So you can make modifications at different points in the word. Okay? So for the last cell, I just want to mention the F2 button. You don't need to have data inside already to actually use it. Okay? You can go F2 and it'll work. Or you can double click, or you can just type in it straight away. So let's just complete this last one. Company 7. Okay, there you go. So we've already cleaned the data using 3 methods. Now there is one more method. And that method is called array fill. Now what does this mean? It's a fancy name, and all it means is before we filled in one cell at a time, right? In array fill, you can fill multiple cells at once. So if it takes you 1 second to fill in 5 cells individually, an array fill will do it in one go, which means you saved 4 seconds, right? Which percentage, you're 5 times faster, right? The more cells you do in one go, the faster you are, the more time you save, the more money you save, the more awesome you look to your boss, to that girl across the hall at work, and so on. So how do you do an array fill? Let's start here in the first yellow section. Let's zoom in. Bring it in. Okay. Alright, so the way it works is you want to select the cells you want to put data in. So we're going to select these two. Okay? Select it like so. Now you want to immediately start typing. You don't have to double click and get into the cell. Alright, so we're going to replace whatever's in there anyway. So we're going to type in 10. So let's do that now. 1, 0. Now as you can see, I'm still in the cell. Now we want to put that 10 in all of the cells that we've highlighted. To do that, while you're in the cell, you press Control on your keyboard and then Enter. And there you go. It'll fill both cells at the same time. Now this works for more than just 2 cells. So let's do it for the next groups. As you can see here, there's 5 here and 5 here. Let's do it for the first one. Right? Select the cells. Type in 10. Okay. Control, Enter. There you go. How many clicks was that? 2 or 3? And you filled in 5 cells of data. Now, one of the great things is you could be in the cell. And let's say I wanted to type in 10, but I accidentally typed in 100 and I pressed Control Enter. So what does this mean? It means I have to redo the command, right? Well, you don't have to exit and start again. What you can do is press F2, like we learned before, and you get into the cell, right? Modify what's in there. Let's do backspace and make it 10. From there, we press Control Enter, and it'll revise everything else. So that's a little bit of a shortcut that maybe a lot of your competitors don't know. So keep it a secret. Okay, and that's how you do array fills. Very powerful tool. You can do it for you can do it for 2 cells, 3 cells, 10 cells, 1,000 cells, and so on. It just keeps going. Okay. All right, guys, that's it from me. I hope you enjoyed. I will see you guys next time.